Producer Bill in our show, he's usually the first person to walk into this radio station. First person. And when he pulls up at the radio station, there's a massive parking lot with empty parking spaces. And he's the first person to park there. He's been parking in the same space for about 10 years. This morning, I've been doing my ice plunge. I did my ice plunge this morning. I've been doing it every day now. This is day 4. I have this cold plunge put in my backyard where the water's 39 degrees. And now I become so obsessed with that I can't sleep at night because all I'm doing is waking up and looking at the clock and going, is it time to ice plunge? Is it time to ice plunge? Because when you ice plunge, it's supposed to be really good for you. So this morning, I was ice plunging at 2:45 this morning.
It's getting earlier and earlier.
I know.
You said because you move so fast afterwards, you could actually sleep in a little bit.
I thought so.
So you're waking up even earlier.
Earlier. So I was in the cold plunge at 2:51. I got out of the cold plunge at 2:51 this morning, right? And again, I was moving 100 miles an hour. I was at Starbucks at 3:30 when they wake up. And when I pull into the radio station, I actually am getting here at the same exact time producer Bill gets here. Mm-hmm. Now, a couple days ago, here's some behind-the-scenes stuff that happens at the radio station. A couple days ago, Rich, who's been parking in the same space for how long is that you've been parking in that space?
7, 8 years, something like that?
No.
What do you mean?
Because I used to park in that space. That was my space. Remember, I was OCD about my parking spaces.
Well,
I mean, you parked in that area.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like a few spaces. But
I'm usually in the same spot of the parking garage, give or take a space or two.
Right. So all of a sudden, a big email went out where they were going to tow his car, right, through the whole building. Whose car is this? And then, and if you really dissect it, if you don't have an ego, you don't care. But if you really dissect it, like I've been thinking about it, I'm like, I'm so offended they didn't know that was Rich's car, right? and then they said that we're going to tow this car if you don't move it. This is our own radio station, and it turns out that they gave Rich's spot away to a manager.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not even really your spot. At the time, it's been for 10 years, it's first come, first serve.
When they said whose spot it was, I didn't even recognize the manager's name. So it's a relatively new manager, a newbie, I would say. And not for our radio station, for one down the hall.
So then, producer Bill yesterday, he's parked in the same spot for 10 years. Same spot, because he's the first person here. And he pulls up that same spot. Yesterday, they put out an email, we're going to tow this car. Whose is it? And it turns out to be producer Bill's. And they gave his spot away to a sales guy, or he's a manager now too, I guess, Gary. And not even the Gary that's trying to sleep with his wife.
No, Bill has a thing with Garys.
Right.
I think he needs to stay away from all Garys.
So Bill has this like meltdown yesterday, but not, he's irritated. It's funny. He's like, right. I mean, but you had problems with it because it's pretty stupid that they take your space away.
I have so many problems with it from so many levels. Where do you want me to start? I'm pretty upset about losing this space.
Right.
And I think that the reason that the company took away the spaces, I think it's kind of BS. Mm-hmm. I really do. I think it still should be first come, first serve.
Right.
Like, why are we giving away spaces to certain employees but not others? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
You're right.
So I took these 2 orange cones and the yellow caution tape, you see like at a crime scene. I roped off my parking spot yesterday before I left.
Savage Bill.
But it's technically not your spot anymore, right?
According to who, Kyle?
The people in charge.
According to the lady who runs our building.
Okay.
Property management.
Right.
If that's the authority that we're going by, sure.
Oh, a revolution.
Wow, Bill.
Okay, so
I have a picture of it. I'll put it up on Instagram of me roping off my parking spot. But so this morning...
Wait. So now they actually gave in and gave you a space, right?
They did. I made so much ruckus yesterday, they said, okay, here, you park in 211 tomorrow morning.
So they gave him his own space. He is in parking space 211. So now...
But I still roped off 215.
Right. So now... I go ice plunge. I wake up. I'm pulling the radio station at way earlier than I've ever pulled, and I see Bill in his car, frantically. You know how Bill, everything he does is frantic. He pees frantic.
Yep.
Driving out of the where he would normally, like, as if he already parked and backed out, and he's frantically parking out. Then he goes over, parks over kind of where you park, Kyle, and he's like, park. And I get out of my car and I walk past the roped off space, and I don't know that he gave him a space yet. I go, what's going on? This is silly. And he goes, yeah, they gave me parking space 211. I go, so why aren't you parked there? Somebody's parked in my space!
Oh.
Right?
There's some white Kia.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in there.
I saw that.
Here's what I don't get. If they're willing to give you space 211, why wouldn't they just move this new person to 211 and you keep your spot?
It's all ridiculous.
But what are the chances? The whole parking lot is empty at it's 3:55 in the morning. The whole parking lot is empty. Only one car is parked in that one space, and it's the space they gave Bill.
And maybe whoever is parked in 211 has parked there for 10 years.
I'm sure.
So now they're going to tow that car.
Meanwhile, and when I pulled into the garage this morning, I was dying laughing because 215 is still roped off.
Yes.
I don't know what to do. Like, should I just leave it there?
Yes.
No.
I mean, look, if you're
What
going
happened when Gary pulls up?
if you're trying to prove a point, if you're trying to fight the system, you have to make this your protest. This is you putting your line in the sand.
You guys-
or your
Is
line on
this-
the parking lot.
Is this really Gary's fault?
No.
No, I don't think it's Gary's fault, but he's just taking advantage of having a spot assigned to him. But I'm saying, why is Gary more important than me?
He's a manager.
Well, here's why. It could be Gary's fault. Gary could be coming in going, you know what? I was at a meeting. Let's say it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm in this meeting, and I come back to the radio station. I got another meeting here at the radio station. I'm running late. I can't find a parking space anywhere in this whole complex. I'm a manager. I should have a space. I was 10 minutes late to this meeting because I couldn't find a parking space. So then maybe whoever the boss is here said, all right, you know what? We're going to start assigning spaces. So maybe it is Gary's fault, or someone of Gary's position said, we should have spaces because now we're running late.
No, I think the building is now charging us for spaces.
Big
So
time.
they had to pick a certain handful of people that could have their own space.
That's
Now,
exactly
there's
it.
still open spaces around. But when the higher ups get the memo that, well, you only have 10 assigned spaces now, how do they pick? Well, they're probably going to pick the managers.
They should still pick first come, first serve.
I think when you get to your job before 4 a.m., you get to park any damn where you want.
I mean, you have so many places to park because nobody's here.
Yeah, but who knows?
It's difficult later
I don't
on in
know.
the day.
I'm afraid. So far, the space I've been parking in has been okay. So I'm afraid. I don't know where the free spaces are. Were you parked, Kyle? Is that a free space?
Yes,
It's not
there's-
numbered.
Yeah, there's
nothing on
spaces
it.
that there's nothing. There's a lot of spaces that have no numbers.
Oh, if they have no number, you can park there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, but I don't like where Kyle parks because there's so much traffic there. You're going to get door dinged. I've got door dinged before here, and it sucks.
And you're exposed to the sun.
Well, I don't care about that. But I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know
like.
what to tell you guys.